will here walk you through the assignment sheet for Essay 3 or the critique essay. The ability to write critique essays is very important for university students because as students we are not only expected to learn about something but also to comment on that thing. In the context of this course, it is here that you will for the first time practice not only to write about what others have written but also to write your pure thoughts. If our first and second essays mostly dealt with what we call the they say aspect of writing, in this third essay assignment we will deal not only with what they say but also what we know as I say. Here you will not leave the skills that you have learned so far. If earlier you have learned how to summarize, in this essay you will use that same skill and then go further by putting your own opinion about what you summarize. The skill that you learned while preparing for Essay 2, that is, highlighting the important element of a piece of writing, will also be useful in this assignment to decide particular areas from the article that you want to focus on. Before we go deeper into the assignment, I'd like to remind you of one thing that you always need to be aware of as academic writers. It's the awareness that there needs to be three parts in any effective act of communication, in our case, in any effective writing. First, begin by saying what you are about to say. Second, continuing with saying what you need to say. And third, concluding with saying what you have said. First of all, about the sources. Please read one or two of these works in the list and then decide which one you want to comment on. Right after this list, you can see a suggestion to read a section in a sequence for academic writing that discusses in particular how to write a critique essay. It is based on that suggestion that we came up with this organization. Then, in the next section, there is an explanation about the introduction part. In our terms, in the introduction, what you need to do is to say what you are about to say. Here, you can talk immediately about the topic that you choose and present your thesis statement. As usual, we need to always be aware of the purpose of our writing and what kind of thesis it needs. For this purpose, our thesis should reflect our evaluation of a particular writing. This thesis should be the result of your evaluation. You can assume that you write this paper after you have done a research on the work, evaluate, and show your agreement with the article. Your thesis here is supposed to be the result of your research with the article. How do you write the result of a research that you haven't done? My suggestion is write this part later at the end of the process. Okay, once again, write this part later at the end of the process. What you need to do first is to analyze the article. Now, there is another part of the introduction, which is the summary. The summary should not be too long. However, it needs to cover what you want to cover in the evaluation part. You can either give a general summary of the article or to provide a summary of the areas that you want to critique only. Whatever type of summary you want to provide, just make sure that this is a good summary. A good summary ideally includes all the elements of summary that you have so far learned to write. Include a main argument, probably most important quotations, or paraphrases of important ideas, and so on. So, consider this week's assignment as writing a part of your essay. That was the introduction. Now we're going into the meat of the essay, the body. Unlike previous essays in which there is only one type of element in the body, this essay has two main elements. First, evaluation, and second, response. In the evaluation, the most important thing is to check whether their strategies to convince you in this assignment is good or not. So here, we're assuming that most of these essays are persuasive essays. So you are concerned here with evaluating their strategies in persuading you. Alright, follow the suggested questions in the assignment sheet. These questions include the fairness of the argumentation, whether or not the author uses any emotionally loaded terms, whether or not the author uses logical fallacy, or you can also ask questions about who the presumed audience of this essay is, based on the tone, diction, evidence, etc. Of course, the space for this essay is not as big as other essays, so you need to use only 3 or 4 elements discussed in the paragraphs. I will make a video on how to build an effective paragraph in the future. Now, we're getting into the second part of the body, the response. After evaluating the rhetorical aspects of the essay, now it's time for you to decide whether or not you will agree with the article. If you decide to agree with it, you need to mention here the reason of your agreement. Ideally, there must be an agreement between your evaluation and your response. So, your response here should be made in the light of your evaluation. Now, after you're done with the evaluation and giving your response to the article, you already have a thesis statement there. This is the time for you to go back to the introduction and decide the thesis statement of your essay. I hope by doing this, the thesis statement will be coherent with the content of the evaluation and the response. And here I have an image of how you can divide your essay. Say, for the introduction you need this much, and for the summary you need this much, and the main part of your essay should take up the most space, and at the end you also have to give your conclusion. I guess that's all for now. I hope this video helps you while you prepare for the summary or for the entire essay. And in the next video I will be talking about making an effective paragraph.